Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yep. How was the holiday? Went with the assignments or did you enjoy? Yes, Amal. How was your holiday?
It was good, ma'am.
Now that I know. Yours I saw. The rest of you? Amal, how was it? You stuck. How was your holiday? How was your holiday? Am I not audible? Good. You cannot hear me. Was it good? Nothing special.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Sana, Sneha, and Grishma, please switch on your video. Mehak, what was special yesterday? Or I'll ask Sana, what was special yesterday?
Like for eating
Yes,
biryani.
biryani, obviously. Okay, so we have completed till gestalt therapy. Remember anything? Ashish? No, very easy. And how many of you sent me the questions from this chapter? I told you to prepare questions from the starting portion. How many of you have sent Aishwarya, Meghna, Grishma? Anybody else? No. Please send it by today evening. Okay. The next day we'll have the test. And along with that, I think we can take some more portion. Type of therapies. The next section, page number 91. Please mark it and keep. So prepare questions from these two, those who have not done earlier, and those who have already sent me, send questions from these sections also. Type of therapies. Okay. Those 6 points. All right. Okay. Now come back to our portion. Next one is biomedical therapy. Before that, we'll do a quick revision. Which all therapies did we learn till now? Sneha, can you name anyone?
Client-centered therapy.
Client-centered therapy. Client-centered therapy comes under which one? Which section of therapies?
Humanistic.
Humanistic existential therapies. That is the category name. Okay. Ashish, any other therapy that you remember from this chapter?
Gestalt therapy.
Gestalt therapy, recent memory. Then Aishwarya,
Psychodynamic.
psychodynamic therapy. Yes. Amal, any other therapy that you remember? Client-centered, so Gestalt, then psychodynamic. Anything more? After psychodynamic, which one did we learn?
Ma'am, cognitive behavior therapy.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. It's also called CBT. Then Elvina,
Existential therapy.
what just happened? Existential therapy. Okay, that also comes under humanistic existential. Okay, then Grishma, anything more?
Behavior therapy and
Behavior,
cognitive.
behavior therapy, cognitive therapy. Okay, so which are the three coming under humanistic existential? Meghna,
Client-centered therapy and gestalt therapy.
client-centered therapy, Gestalt therapy, and existential therapy. And under existential therapy, we learned something. What was it? Typical therapy by Viktor Frankl. Sana and Mehak, please switch on your video. Remember Viktor Frankl's contribution?
Logotherapy.
Logotherapy. Okay. Please study all those names. We are having MCQ test for PT2. I hope you got the portions. I've posted it in the group. Please study, read each and every line, mark and study. That's why I told you to prepare the questions. So it'll be more easy. And if you make a mistake, then again you lose 1 mark. I won't be able to give even half or 1/4 or 3/4. Okay. So you have to be exact in your answers. You might think MCQs are very easy, but I don't think it will be. Not anymore. Okay. So study well. At least start studying from today. So next is biomedical therapy. Write the heading. Biomedical therapy. You can write it as a single word as given in the textbook. Biomedical therapy. So what would be this form of therapy? Biomedical therapy. Any guess? From the name, any guess? Biomedical therapy.
There would be medicines prescribed.
Then generally that is it. Usually, apart from psychotherapy, that is which is done by the psychotherapist or the psychologist, we also give medicines, or in medical terms, we call it drugs. Even the paracetamol that we take is a drug. Okay, so those are prescribed to treat a psychological disorder. So that comes under biomedical therapy. And in this section, we'll discuss about one more thing, that is ECT. Have you heard of ECT? Anyone? ECT. It's a very common thing, I'm telling you. ECT. In films, I'm quite sure that you have seen this. ECT. I'll give you the full form and then you see if you can identify. Electroconvulsive therapy. Electroconvulsive therapy. Relate everything. ECT, electroconvulsive therapy. It is used to treat psychological disorders. So what would that be?
Is it giving shocks to patients?
Okay. We had a power failure. Sorry for that. We'll continue. So we were talking about ECT and psychological disorders and electroconvulsive therapy. You might have got the gap to find out what that is. What is it? What is it?
Is it the thing that we saw in the movie Adiran?
What is it? For those who haven't watched.
Giving electric shocks to the people to forget memories and stuff.
It's not actually to forget memories or stuff like that. It is to give a stimulation to the brain. It's like that. Okay. And electroconvulsive therapy, there are very much difference of opinion in that field, like whether this should be given to the patients as a form of therapy or as a form of treatment. There are a group of people who know that this is very useful, and there are another set of people who are completely against this. They're telling that it's completely unethical to provide ECT to the patient. Mm. So, before going into ECT, we'll just cover up the portion of biomedical therapy in general. So, again, what is biomedical therapy? It would be the prescription of drugs to treat the psychological disorders, or maybe to treat a particular symptom of the disorder. For example, if you are seeing something that is not in front of you, what is that symptom? Elvina,
Hallucination,
what kind of hallucination is that?
visual hallucination,
Visual hallucination. Okay. Now, if you believe that something really exists, or if you believe that you have some supernatural power, even though you don't. So, what is that? Anybody else? You have a strong belief that you have a supernatural power.
Grandeur delusions.
Delusion of grandiosity or grandeur delusions. Okay, so hallucinations are delusions. They are together called as psychotic symptoms. Have you heard of the word psychosis? Psychosis. If you have watched the movie Manichitrathada, then obviously you would have heard this word. Psychosis. Psychosis. The character played by Tilagan says a very famous dialogue regarding psychosis. Yes, Ashish is telling. Can you can you unmute and tell?
I forgot.
You forgot. Okay, so after the class, go Google it and see. Okay. So generally, this is an example of biomedical therapy. Okay. For disorders like schizophrenia. In schizophrenia, we studied about hallucinations and delusions, isn't it? That comes under what set of symptoms? Hallucinations and delusions are part of which set of symptoms? Is it positive? Is it negative?
Positive.
Positive symptoms. Okay. So to treat schizophrenia, then maybe bipolar disorder. Again, back to Dhanush movie 3. That if you have watched it, you might know. The person sees things that aren't there, and the person hears voices also. Again, auditory hallucinations, visual hallucinations are there. They are also called psychotic symptoms. These hallucinations and delusions, they are generally called psychotic symptoms. There are a few other symptoms coming under this category, but mainly when we speak of psychosis, we talk about hallucinations and delusions. Okay. So in schizophrenia or disorders like bipolar disorder, we see these symptoms, psychosis, psychotic symptoms. To treat that, we give we prescribe, not we, not us, the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist prescribes medicines. They are called antipsychotic drugs or antipsychotic medicines. Antipsychotics, it can be called antipsychotics also. Antipsychotic medicine, antipsychotic drug, or just antipsychotics. That is one example of biomedical therapy. So when a question comes regarding biomedical therapy, I mean, if a descriptive question comes, you have to write that apart from the other therapies, other form of psychotherapies, we also use medicines. We also use drugs, not us again. The psychiatrist prescribe medicines to the patients to treat psychological disorders. Okay. And there are some disorders because of some, or that means caused because of some organic problem, that is bodily problem, like the imbalance in two things. Which are they?
Hormones,
And Meghna, remember?
Neurotransmitter.
Neurotransmitters, hormones and neurotransmitters. So basically, if there is an imbalance in or improper functioning in both of these things, both of these substances, that might lead to some psychological problems also. For that also we can prescribe, not again us, it medicines can be prescribed to the patients. Okay. And this is one example of that. Antipsychotics are provided or prescribed for clients or patients with suffering from schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and so on. Then some patients with depression or anxiety disorders, they can also be given medicines for treating their disorder. And in some cases, if they are having an organic problem, but some organic problems plus psychological symptoms are shown, then we give them psychotherapy plus these medicines. Okay. Even if they are consulting a clinical psychologist, they might be referred to a psychiatrist also. If their condition is not curable, or if their condition is not treatable or can be managed by the psychotherapy alone, then they'll be referred to the psychiatrist also. So I told you there is a multidisciplinary approach when it comes to psychological disorders. If it is in a hospital, there are different people working for a single patient. The psychiatric nurse, psychiatrist, the clinical social worker, psychologist, the child psychologist. There are too many people working and discussing about a case and trying to help that person, help that client. Okay. So, psychologist's job is to provide psychotherapy, and if the organic problems or severe symptoms are involved, then we can also put the psychiatrist into the scene. Okay, because he or she can provide medicine, they can prescribe medicine, and the both of them, that is psychotherapy as well as the medicine or the drugs, go hand in hand with each other to treat the client. Only if necessary. If it is curable by psychotherapy, then that is more preferable, isn't it? Unnecessarily, why take medicines? Okay, so that is it. That is about biomedical therapy and electroconvulsive therapy. I think we can watch a video and come back. After that, we'll discuss. From the video, you just saw what are the clear signs of this ECT, isn't it? What is the main thing, what is the main effect that you can see? Like a person is getting an electric shock. From what sign or symptom can you, or from what sign can you understand that this person has got a shock during the procedure?
The person don't remember what just happened before. The
Those
shock
are the
will
after effects. Yeah, person don't remember, then maybe
Switching off leg by sitting down.
yes, louder,
Switching off leg.
yeah, that movement of legs will be there. That's how you know that this person has got. And this doesn't continue for minutes and hours. It's just for a few seconds. maybe less than a second, microseconds. Okay. And that is how it is done. It's entirely different from the methods that were used earlier. During ancient times, it was again a bit more exaggerated and dangerous also. And now, what are the after effects of electroconvulsive therapy? As Neha said, they don't remember. Maybe some memories might be lost. Then nausea, they might feel to vomit also. Then some patients might still feel sedative. They might feel dizzy. Mild confusions might be there after this therapy. And depending on the patient's case, depending on the severity of the disorder, and depending on the need of the patient, the patient is provided ECT. The interval of ECT is decided by the psychiatrist itself, and psychiatrist is the one who monitors this ECT. Okay. And what else is there in biomedical therapy? Yeah. We talked about drugs, right? We talked about medicines, prescription of medicines. We all know, even for mild cases like headaches, we do take, some people do take medicines, they take drugs, isn't it? And another example, for pleasure also, people engage in drug abuse, intake of drugs, and so on. So we know that all category of drugs are most of the categories of drugs are addictive in nature. The last chapter we learned that. Is it not? Yes. Okay. So here, these medicines also, especially antidepressants, all those things, sleeping pills. We learned about sleeping pills and all. So sleep disorders, if they are treated with sleeping pills again, that is also addictive. So the drugs or the medicines have to be prescribed and have to be provided to the patients only under medical supervision. Like an untrained individual or an unprofessional person cannot just prescribe medicine and ask the patient or the client to follow the medical regimen. Okay, it should be done under careful medical supervision. Otherwise, what will happen? What will happen if it is not done under medical supervision?
The person may cause unintentionally more harm to the patient.
Yes, exactly. So if just maybe a close acquaintance of the patient or the client, or maybe a close friend of the patient or the client tells that I had a cousin who had this similar symptoms, so I might ask him, and then I'll give you this medicine. You go buy that medicine and have it, so you'll be all right. Is that a right method? Is that a right method, Amal? No, it is not. Okay, so that is why we are talking about psychiatrists here. They are trained in diagnosing and also in treatment of diseases. And also, they have the right to prescribe these medicines because they have learned about the medicines and their after effects. Even, please keep your videos on, children. Even the antipsychotics and the other antidepressants, all these medicines have their own side effects. Okay, and a person who knows about the side effects can only treat them properly, isn't it? Because the patients have to be warned, their family members also have to be warned, they will have these many side effects, so it cannot be continued for a very long time also. And again, overdose is another problem. If the patient is not taking the right amount of medicine, underdose and overdose both are problematic. If it is underdose, then they won't be getting the actual desirable effect on their body or on the medical condition. And if it is overdose, again, that will have 2x side effects. Okay, so that is about biomedical therapy. The rest of it, I think you know. Mahek, can you just read? We'll read it and finish off.
Ma'am, I have a network issue, so I'll read and
Mm.
Medicines may be prescribed to treat psychological disorders. Prescription of medicines for treatment of mental disorders is done by qualified medical professionals known as psychiatrists.
Underline
They are
that.
medical doctors who are specialized in the understanding, diagnosis, and treatment of mental disorders. The nature of medicines used depends on the nature of disorders. Severe mental disorders such as schizophrenia and bipolar disorder require antipsychotic drugs. Common mental disorders such as generalized anxiety or reactive depression may also require milder drugs. The medicines prescribed to treat mental disorders can cause side effects which need to be understood and monitored. Hence, it is essential that the medication is given under proper medical supervision. Even the drugs which normal individuals use to stay awake, to study for examinations, or to get a high at a party have dangerous side effects. These drugs can cause addiction and harm the brain and the body. Therefore, it is dangerous to self-medicate with drugs which affect the mind.
Okay, that is another point. We should not self-medicate. You should not suggest somebody else to get medicated like in an illegal way, nor you should self-medicate yourself. Okay, then.
You must have seen people with mental problems being given electric shocks and fillings. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, is another form of biomedical therapy. Mild electric shock is given via electrodes to the brain of the patient to induce convulsions. The shock is given by the psychiatrist only when it is necessary for the improvement of the patient. ECT is a treatment and is only given when drugs are not effective in controlling the symptoms of the.
Okay, so ECT is provided only when it is necessary. If a patient comes to the hospital to get admitted and to get the therapy or the treatment, we can't just say that we don't have any ECT sessions this week, so let this patient go for ECT. That's very unethical. Okay, only if there is a need, they need to be provided. They need to be provided with ECT treatment. Okay, is that clear, everyone? All right. So please learn these spellings also. I think I should put a question. I mean, a few questions for MCQ. Find the correct spelling of schizophrenia. Find the correct spelling of bipolar disorder. Then only you'll learn the spellings. Okay. I think we have. Not I think. I'm sure we have completed all the therapies by today, and only thing is the alternative therapies, ethics on all those factors related to psychotherapy. We'll discuss that in the next class. Be prepared. Those who are given seminar topics, be prepared. Okay, and don't forget to send me the questions. 2 portions. Okay then. Thank you.